Discovering Insert Wine Here. We love making new discoveries about wines, so we thought we would share some of that with you. We will be rolling out a new subscription series called Discovering Insert Wine Here. Each month, we will choose a wine to discuss and pair and do a live Zoom with our subscribers. Now, when I say wine, we will keep this simple, but it will be something that you can find locally or order. During our Zoom, you will learn about the wine, the style, and the region. Then we will taste, pair, and share our thoughts. I'll finish with the recipe to show you how simple making the dish can be. If you can't join us live, we will share the recording so you can watch it later. Discovering Insert Wine Here.
All right, let's go on to the grazing board and the things that we paired with it. So Pinot Noir, because it can be such a light-bodied red wine, kind of can run the gamut with different food pairings. So you get so many options. I mean, I decided just to pull a few, and there are 34 things on my grazing board. So mind you, some of these things are just for aromatics. They're not meant for actual eating, but again, wide variety of things that you can pair with Pinot Noir. So salmon, of course, this comes back to that, what grows together goes together. Well, so I think of Oregon that way with the salmon in Oregon. And whenever you see Oregon Pinot Fest is actually, I've never been to it in person, but I always see pictures, and they always have those stakes around the open fires with like a cedar plank and the salmon on top to pair with the Pinots there. So classic pairing with salmon and Pinot. We did juniper berries and cloves again for aromatics. Blood orange, because you get those acidic notes in a Pinot Noir, but it's something darker and deeper than lemon and lime. So more like a blood orange, something that's a little richer there. We did brie and blackberries, grilled fennel, again, like we had done with the Chardonnay, because you do get those fennel notes often in fennel, anise, that kind of a note with Pinot Noir. We did chocolate, again, that, some people like it, some people don't. Black tea and rosemary, strawberries, black plum. We did some fontina cheese, dried herbs and white pepper, of course, which are great for just adding into recipes. Cooked black cherries, dried hibiscus, which I picked up at the at Cost Plus World Market. And I mean, I suppose you could, bloom it and use it within recipes. I just put it dried on the platter here and munched on some of it. And it's so good. All those years when I was growing up in Hawaii, I had no idea that you could dry it and it would be so tasty. We did some Gouda. I did sauteed mushrooms. We put some coffee out for aromatics. We did dried cranberries, some dried rose petals, red licorice, dried figs, rhubarb, which I mixed up with a little bit of sugar because rhubarb is so tart. I grew up on the strawberry rhubarb pies. We had a rhubarb patch in our backyard when I was growing up, and a strawberry patch too. So always had strawberry rhubarb pies. I did chev, goat cheese with cranberries and pistachios, truffle salt, which is great for adding to anything that if you've got a wine that has those mushroom aromas to it, then you can kind of match and pair with a little bit of truffle salt. We did toast and raspberry, Parmigiano Reggiano, pomegranate, black currant, roasted beets, again, bringing in that earthy note that Cam was talking about, thyme. I did some sauteed beet greens. I kind of like the bitterness with the red wine, and I thought it went well, especially because we did some filet mignon that we just, seared on both sides. And so with the meat also with that, I found that really good with the Pinot Noir. So let's talk about what you guys did. What are you munching on, or what did you pair with when you were doing your pairing? Well, we'll go on now, and I'll talk about a couple of the recipes that we've done in the past with Pinot Noirs from different places. So the first one is a Willamette Valley Pinot Noir from a winery called Aloro. And we did this we started off with a warm salad with roasted baby potatoes with burrata, basil, spinach, and radicchio with lemon. And so that was kind of to get us started. And then we also did a minted pea mash to go with this, which was delicious. And then we went on to our main course, which was Cornish game hens with a savory berry drizzle. So, I mean, you think about that, and the Aloro, the Pinot Noir could go with the game hens. You got the berry drizzle kind of pulled in those fruit notes, but the wine didn't overpower the Cornish game hens because it has a lightness to it that way. A bit more on Oloro. Oloro is the Italian word for laurel, and the winery was named for the laurelwood soils that are found on the side. It is in the Laurelwood District AVA in the Willamette Valley, which is a double-nested AVA. So you've got the Willamette Valley AVA. Within that, you have the Chehalem Mountains AVA, and the northwestern side of that is the Laurelwood District AVA, and the soils there are laurelwood soils. So it kind of ties everything back into the name of the winery. So yeah, so this was a delicious pairing, and like I said, kind of fun that you're doing Cornish game hens with a Pinot Noir, that you can make it pair that way. On the other end of the spectrum, we did this pairing with a Bells Up Pinot Noir, and it's barbecue. So you're going much richer, much deeper. Bells Up is also in Oregon, and the name of the winery is because the owner and the winemaker plays French horn and used to play professionally. But you can tell just by the name of this wine, it's called Titan, that this is going to be bigger, bolder, and richer. So we did it with barbecue that we got from a local barbecue place here, and then enjoyed it up on the rooftop deck before it got too hot. This wine is from Iris Vineyard, which is in Southern Oregon around the Eugene area. It's actually butts up to King Family Estates, which is one of the larger biodynamic vineyards in the country, that's just outside of Eugene, which I've never actually visited. They always seemed too big for me. I didn't want to go visit them because they were so big. But Iris, I got to meet the winemaker. His name is Aaron Lieberman, and he was visiting Las Vegas. And one of the distributors here in town set us up, and we went out for dinner to taste through his wines. In addition to Pinot Noir, they also make sparkling wine and Pinot Gris. And he gifted me this bottle of their Arete Pinot Noir. And so I took it home and made a pairing with it. And our whole meal for this consisted of a salad of roasted beets, goat cheese, fresh grains, and toasted baguette croutons, and a honey Dijon and balsamic dressing. Then we did prosciutto wrapped pork loin with roasted shallots and red grapes. Again, those roasted red grapes, like I said yesterday, that I love so much. And a red wine sauce with black cherries on a bed of roasted mashed butternut squash with clove, allspice, and nutmeg. So those spices, again, pulling in, and the beets in the salad pulling in the earthiness. So it was a really lovely pairing. Youngberg Hill. So we're back to fish and red wine, right? So we had 2 Pinot Noirs from Youngberg Hill, and we paired them with rainbow trout and a rainbow root vegetable gratin. And it was kind of the root vegetable gratin was parsnips, yellow beets, sweet potato, and red beets. And then we layered it in cream and cheese and baked it off, and it gave us this lovely ombre of sunset colors there. And then the rainbow trout to go with it. Youngberg Hill, if you're not familiar with them, they're in the Willamette Valley also. And we had been there ages ago with my friend Adam. It seems like a million years ago now. He had, at the time, just recently gotten married, and he and his wife got married at the vineyard. And so he knew everybody there. So he was like, come on, let's go to Youngberg Hill and we'll meet everybody. So we tasted there. And then years later, we went back to visit and to speak with the winemaker and interview the winemaker. And he farms regeneratively there. And Wayne Bailey is his name. And we drove around on the property on the ATV, and as we're talking about regenerative farming, and he does cover crops, no-till farming, and has firsthand knowledge of the kind of damage that tilling can do because he grew up in the Midwest working in agriculture. So the degradation of the soil that he sees there, it's like one of those things that now he definitely doesn't want to do that to his own property. In addition to doing the regenerative agriculture, they also have goats and cows on the property. And the property itself is actually a bed and breakfast and an event center, which is how Adam got married there. And it's beautiful. It's got beautiful views out over the vineyards there. So if you're ever there, stop by the tasting room, or if you need a place to stay up there, Youngberg Hill is a beautiful place to stay. So we talked about that, the Keller-Bozen vineyard in Trentino Alto Adige. And this was a dish that we put together, was it last month that we did? I think it was last month, maybe, or the month before. And it's lamb chops, canderly, and a cabbage salad. And I did it up restaurant style. I wanted to make something that was really pretty. So it's kind of local flavors, but dressed up. and canderly are actually dumpling-like balls that are made from day-old bread and cheese and eggs. And then they're flavored with things like spinach or herbs, or because of the region it's from, speck. So, that kind of ham that's up there. The lamb that we did was simply seared in a hot pan and then finished in the oven with chopped garlic and rosemary. And the salad that I did on top was thinly sliced red cabbage and carrot and yellow pepper dressed in apple cider vinegar, honey, olive oil, and garlic. So again, I kind of wanted to get those local flavors in the dish. And I got fancy because Michael had just ordered me the tuile molds. So I did Parmesan tuiles that we could dress up on the top of it to look pretty. And we finished it with some microgreens, crushed pistachios, and lemon zest to give it a brightness. So it was one of those dishes I like took a picture of and I'm like, I'm really proud of this dish. So, and our last dish is the one I sent you the recipe for, which is the lavender Earl Grey tea smoked yellowfin tuna with the roasted golden beets and rosemary. And I know that's a whole mouthful of stuff, but we were pairing this with the Utopia Pinot Noir, and his Pinot Noir, this particular one, tends to be bigger and richer. And I thought that the tuna could stand up to the richness of the wine. The tea smoking is really not all that difficult. You need a few extra things to make this recipe. You need to have a wok, one of those metal vegetable steamers, the kind that open up like a flower, aluminum foil, and a set of bowls to do the aromatic pairing so that you have like a nested bowl set for each serving. So the tuna marinates for about 30 minutes in garlic, ginger, olive oil, soy, honey, blood orange, and some brewed tea. And then you line the bottom of your wok with aluminum foil and make it like 4 layers thick and big enough, like an 8x8 in the bottom of the wok. And the idea behind this is that you don't want anything to burn on the sides and to mess up your wok. It's to keep your wok safe. Then you make a mixture of sugar, tea, rice, and spices. I use some star anise in this. You put that in the center in like a little pile, a 4-inch diameter pile. And then you put your metal vegetable steamer on top of that. And you want to make sure that that your pile there doesn't touch the bottom of the steamer again. And put your tuna in, get it all smoking, and put a lid on it, and it smokes pretty quickly. And so you're able to smoke this inside on the stove. So that makes it pretty easy. We also pulled in the beets then for earthy notes with the wine, and for the aromatic pairing, all I did was I tossed some star anise and some fresh rosemary into the bowl, placed my serving bowl inside of that, and then poured hot water so you get the steam. And with that, let's see a picture with the steam coming out of it, so you get a facial while you're getting dinner. So that was our recipe, and it's really not that hard to put together, and it's pretty spectacular looking. So great for, like a romantic dinner, or, dinner for when you're trying to impress some guests and you only have a couple of them. So it makes for a pretty impressive pairing. So any additional thoughts or inspirations? Have you visited a Pinot Noir region? I mean, Cam.
If you're interested in joining us, email me at robin@42aspens.com and I'll send you the details.